Hey guys, it's Brad and the Buff. I got my buff on my head and I'm ready to go. We got some beautiful snow out here today. Today I want to talk to you about some easy tips to try to lighten your backpack. I'm not talking about trying to get to ultralight, but just to get a pound here or a pound there that don't cost you a dime. Just little things I've learned over time. So let me get into that in this video. Okay, the first tip I'm going to give you was one of the ones that took me the longest to take up, which was getting rid of a lot of my clothes. I used to bring a different set of clothes for every day on the trail. It's laughable now, but those clothes actually weigh a good bit. I mean, they're anywhere from 6 to 10 ounces for a pair of pants, a shirt, as much clothes as you can get out that's unnecessary. For me, I've gotten to the point where essentially the only thing I'm bringing is an extra pair of underwear and an extra pair of socks to flip in and out. I'm gonna wear almost the same thing during the day. I'm gonna layer up and layer down, but I have tried to reduce my clothing to exactly what I need for the trip. If it's raining out or it's extra cold, I might put something in. You don't want to be an idiot. But in general, if you can reduce your clothes weight down, you can get rid of a pound or two right there. I got this jacket, it was worth it for me. This is the Ghost Whisperer, it's like the standard. But this is because it's an 8-9 ounce puffy as opposed to a 13 ounce, maybe one that you can get that's a little bit cheaper, but I paid to get those ounces off, stuff like that. But you just in general, get rid of more of your clothes. You don't need a different shirt every day. Wear a shirt, rinse it out, make sure it's quick dry, let it dry overnight. You're not probably gonna sleep in it, and put a new one on and layer properly. But that's my first tip. That'll help you get rid of some weight right there. The second one is food. Food can weigh a lot or a little bit depending on what you get, but trying to get a really good calorie count, protein count per ounce is something that I really strive for. And also not bringing too much. The first few trips I was doing, I was bringing a day or two of extra food. I was bringing food that I wasn't even finishing. And so trying to tighten up your food budget, which is just something you learn for what you need. Some really good things that I have found that really help in this area. The peanut butter is a really high-end calorie protein count. They make delicious little packets that you can get. Sun butter, honey packets, pretty dense. Ramen is very lightweight. I like the little tuna pouches, although those are kind of heavy, but they have a decent protein count per. But just little things like that, and especially just not bring too much. The main thing in this video is bringing too much stuff, too much of each of these items. The third is water. I used to be super paranoid about my water intake. I still am a little bit. It's always good to err to the side of caution. But with the lightweight water filtration you have, where you can just filter on the trail, stop real quick, fill up something, and then just squeeze it as you go. If you plan out your route and you know where your consistent, steady water supplies are, that means you can bring less water between checkpoints. So if I know I'm going to be hitting a river that doesn't dry up, if I know I'm going to be coming across a large pond or water source that's not going to dry up, I know between those two sections, I don't need to carry extra water weight. I might only carry a liter or a liter and a half if it's just a few miles. So in general, just trying to get your water carried down based on solid areas where you can fill up. Now, one thing I'll say about that is don't count on springs, especially if it's dry. Be very careful about that. Have a backup plan and carry the extra water in the event that that spring is too dry to get from. To get water from. So it is good to be paranoid in the sense of be careful, but if you know you have reliable water sources ahead, it does allow you to carry less water. That's a lot of weight. 1 liter weighs, I believe, about 2.2 pounds. So if I drop off 2 liters, that's 4 pounds. It's like 25% of my carry right there. The next is find items you can use for multiple things, so they don't just do one job. I brought this out. This is my Gossamer Gear Thin Light. It's a 1/8 inch pad. This is not my primary sleeping pad, but I use the Z-Packs Nero as my backpack. This is the pad that goes in the back of my my backpack as support. So this works as my support for my backpack. It also works as my typical butt seat. I'm gonna pull it right out of my Z-Packs Nero. I'm gonna sit on it whenever I stop for places just to make sure my butt doesn't get wet or to get some insulation from the ground as I'm cooking meals and stuff. And then whenever, before I go to sleep, I'm gonna put this underneath of my inflatable mattress to protect it, but also to provide a little bit more insulation. And then it also doubles as an emergency in the event that something happens to my inflatable mattress and it just doesn't blow up. I at least have something to buffer me from the ground, from sticks and things like that. So this really provides 4 different uses for me. I have several items like that in my kit. You know, I use my coffee maker. It also doubles as my cup. I usually drink with it. It's a French press. It's a titanium French press, Snow Peak. I use it as my coffee cup. I can boil water in it because it's titanium. And I can also, you know, make food in it if I need to. So I can do a bunch of different things with that one unit. So I have a bunch of pieces of gear that are going to double and do multiple things for me. I think that that's always smart. That's another way to reduce the weight of your gear. So once again, it's taking things out or using things as multiple, instead of having a pad, a butt seat, a backup pad. I have this one item. You can do that with a lot of the different things that you get. The last, and this one, it does have a cost to it, but it's just straight body weight. You know, I've lost about 20 pounds over the last year, year and a half, because I've decided that I don't need the extra weight at my age. I'd rather be able to hike further than I would to have the extra strength. It's just a choice that I made. And reducing body weight is a fantastic way, healthily, is a fantastic way to make hiking easier for you. You know, if you're already maybe a thinner person, that may not be necessary, but for me, I just didn't need the extra bulk. I wouldn't say that I was overweight, but I didn't need to be able to bench press more or anything. I just decided that, hey, hiking's my main hobby. I can afford to lose 15, 20 pounds, and it'll make my hiking easier. So I went from, you know, maybe 225, 200 pounds, or 220, and now I'm down to 200 pounds. So I'm not exactly a super lightweight person even now, but I'm a lot lighter than I was. And that's gonna make my hiking a lot easier. So that is another area that you can focus on. It does require blood, sweat, tears, and discipline, but it will make your hiking easier and it doesn't cost money. The only reason I bring these tips up is you can always reduce weight by buying gear, but you start getting into paying a very heavy premium to get a few ounces off as you get into lightweight gear. And I do have that lightweight gear, and I love my lightweight gear, but it took me a long time to build up and to spend that kind of money to get it to where I wanted it to be. These things are just easy tips that don't require any money that you can do. You can carry all your old stuff, but they're really good things to do first before you start spending thousands of dollars and you're not even sure if you want to get that heavily into hiking. So I hope those tips have been helpful. Once again, it would be your, the first thing would be reduce your clothing. The second thing is try to tighten up your food. Third is water. The fourth is try to get to the point where a lot of your gear is doubling usage, so you're not carrying items, a singular item for one use. And the fifth is just reduce body weight. So hopefully those tips have been helpful. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, if you liked the video you just saw, please subscribe, click the bell so you can get alerted for any new videos that I may do. And check the links below for any information I described in the video. I'll try to put as much there as possible. Thanks for watching.